now on Denver 7 News at 10. People feeling the record-breaking heat today, especially when their AC breaks down.
I've gone through all the ice in the apartment. I can't make it fast enough.
The impact of staffing shortages and the long, hot wait to get your air conditioners repaired.
There's just not enough bodies to be able to service those calls in a timely manner.
Plus, abortion rights rallies across the nation and in Colorado, why they say Biden's new executive order doesn't go far enough.
And working for peanuts, the only in Colorado mountain challenge you have to see to believe.
The sun has finally gone down along with the temperatures tonight after we hit triple digits for the second time this summer. Thank you for joining us on Denver 7 News at 10. I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And I'm Brian Wang. All right, let's get right over to meteorologist Stacey Donaldson. Stacey, it was a hot one today. We're talking about a record breaker here.
That's right. It's going into the record books for today's afternoon high of 100 degrees. We reached that officially at the airport at DIA. The record high previously was 98 degrees, set back in 1903. Now, on the average, we should be right around 90 degrees this time of year, and we're well above that and will be again tomorrow. Temperatures in the triple digits for highs today from Fort Collins and Greeley to Sterling and Akron. Even up in the mountains from Steamboat to Eagle, temperatures were in the 90s this afternoon. Now, we did have a few scattered thunderstorms that tried to get going earlier, a lot of them just falling apart as they pushed off to the east, but we did see some lightning with those storms and some rainfall. As for our wake up forecast, tomorrow morning we'll start out in the 70s, but it'll warm up fast. We'll be at 95 degrees by noon and should be in the triple digits once again. I'll have more details on how long this hot streak will stick around coming up.
All right, thank you, Stacey. And with the record-breaking temperatures this weekend, HVAC companies across Denver tell us they are slammed with calls for service for air conditioning units.
Yeah, they're working like crazy right now. Denver 7's Rob Harris spoke to a woman whose AC broke overnight right before this intense heat.
I woke up about 6 this morning and it was hot already.
Of all weekends to have the AC go out, this has been a brutal one.
It's over 90 degrees in my apartment right now.
Lisa Clifton lives at Kavod Senior Living, where one of 3 residence buildings is without air conditioning this weekend.
You've got a lot of elderly, very vulnerable people living here. You've got 3 floors of assisted living.
Management at Kavod tells us a technician from Climate Engineering was on site and identified the problem in the chiller system. It's a 2-person fix, and they won't be able to get out a second technician until Monday. So in the meantime, management says it's helping residents who can leave their units get to parts of the property that still have AC, and they're delivering portable AC units to residents who have to stay put, like Clifton.
I've gone through all the ice in the apartment. I can't make it fast enough.
Kavod is hardly alone.
It's the hottest day of the year of 2022 so far, and I have been doing nothing but fielding service call requests all day long. My technicians are out doing their best at trying to solve everybody's issues with not having air conditioning.
Marcus Fouth owns Great Guys Heating, Cooling, and Electrical in Littleton. He's been working to hire people as quickly as he can, but he says the industry has struggled in recent years to bring in enough employees to keep up with the demand, especially when high temperatures hit.
Well, today, we've received 76 email requests and the phone has not stopped ringing. Clearly, with the service staff that we have, as well as our competitors, there's just not enough bodies to be able to service those calls in a timely manner.
Fouth says he's been working to grow his team, and they can now respond to an AC repair call within 3 to 5 days. But that's still a long time to go without air conditioning during hot weather, so that's why he says preventative maintenance is key. You should be swapping out the filter in your AC unit every 2 to 3 months. You should have a professional come out and inspect the entire unit every year. For Denver 7, I'm Rob Harris.
Some good tips there, Rob. Thank you. Well, with this heat, several emergency cooling centers are open across the Denver metro this weekend. In Aurora, there are the multiple locations available. There are the Central Public Library, the Hoffman Library, Martin Luther King Jr. Library, and the Aurora Day Resource Center. In Denver, all recreation centers will be open this weekend to serve as cooling centers. The city will also open up a few public library branches if the rec centers run out of space. For a full list of cooling centers and hours in the Denver metro, visit our website, thedenverchannel.com.
Let's get to some other headlines tonight. Scary moments for a mom in Commerce City after her car was stolen with her 2 children inside. This was outside the Conoco gas station near Highway 85 and East 104th Avenue. Police say around 11:20 this morning, the male suspect walked out of the store and went into the unlocked car with a 1-year-old and 10-year-old inside. The 10-year-old was able to get out before the suspect could drive drive off. Police then stopped the suspect in Brighton near 7th and Strong Street. He was taken into custody. That 1-year-old child was not hurt.
Our bodies, hands high! Our bodies, hands high! Our bodies, hands high!
Protesters were outside the White House today criticizing President Biden and his latest executive order for reproductive rights today, saying it doesn't go far enough. This follows the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Hundreds of protesters in Boulder joined the movement today and demonstrated in downtown. Biden's executive.
I don't think the president is doing enough. I think that we as Americans have to stand up and protest, and then the government will fall in line with that.
This comes as thousands of pro-abortion advocates held a rally in Washington, D.C. today, marching through the streets before ending at the White House.
It has been 6 months since the Marshall Fire tore through several neighborhoods in Boulder County, and for many, we've been sharing their stories. The recovery process is just getting started. Take Christopher Benner. He's an emergency worker and search and rescue volunteer. During the Marshall Fire, he was helping treat that influx of patients coming into the ER in Boulder with injuries and burns trying to escape the flames. He also lost his own home. He says staying in Louisville to rebuild was an easy decision because of his 9-year-old son.
This is his first home. This neighborhood, the community is incredibly strong, and it's just a wonderful place to live. So I never doubted that we would ever sell this property. Or doubted that we would rebuild here. We've been committed to rebuilding ever since.
Now, Christopher and his son are staying in an apartment in Louisville while they continue rebuilding. His plans are to break ground on the property in just the next couple of months, and he thinks it'll be about a year or so before he and his son are back home.
We wish him the best. All right, we've heard multiple stories about puppy scams that are on the internet, but now Denver police are sending out a warning after a couple Denver residents fell victim to a goat scam. Police say in late May, the victims responded to an online ad for a pygmy goat. They originally agreed to buy the goat for $300, but the scammers kept requesting additional payments until more than $3,000 was dished out. Well, on the day of pickup, take a guess. The goat was nowhere to be found. Police say scammers often spoof websites of breeders to lure in customers. The best way to avoid scams like this, meet the breeder and the animal in person prior to exchanging any money.
I have never heard of a goat scam before. Always the first time for everything. All right, this is a first too. A nutty way to climb a mountain. The reason behind one bizarre Colorado challenge, rolling up Pikes Peak, one peanut length at a time.
Okay. And optimism is in the air when it comes to the Broncos. That's great news. Troy Rank explains on Denver 7 Sports in just a few minutes.